How to use the knit foot. I'm going to be sewing on some very stretchy knit fabric. You can see how stretchy this is. And I'm going to show you the difference between using a regular foot, a regular stitch, the knit foot, and a knit stitch. The first one I will use is this regular foot. And a straight stitch at length 3.5. Now with the same foot, I'm going to switch to a stretch stitch and increase the length to 3.5. Now I'm going to switch to the knit foot that came in that kit. When putting this foot on, this needs to go behind your bar here. Do not put it in front of your bar. So it's going to go behind that bar. Okay, I'm changing it back to a straight stitch, just a regular stitch at length 3.5. And as the needle goes up and down, you will see that it reacts with this and will lift this little stopper that's here that I will show you a close-up of in just a moment. Now I'm going to switch to a stretch stitch, length 3.5. I put a mark in between where each type of stitch started. In this first one, it was a regular foot with a straight stitch. One of the things about sewing knits is patience, going slow. You cannot fly these things through this machine very well unless you have a special machine. This looks nice and is laying flat, but the stitch itself is not very stretchy, and if it gets pulled too much, it will pop because it's a straight stitch. On this one, you can see it's got a little bit of puckering with the stretch stitch, but it allows it to stretch more because of the way that the machine actually goes back and forth. The way it works is it goes to the side and then forward, then to the side, then forward. And that allows it to be more stretchy, so you're not going to pop stitches. This is where we use the knit foot from the kit. This is with a straight stitch, and again it looks like actually both are laying fairly flat, but with a straight stitch it's not very stretchy. If this gets pulled, it's going to pop some stitches. And then this is with the stretch stitch, and you can see it's a lot more stretchy. One little trick I learned with this is that this little rubber stopper that's on the bottom of it, it's what comes down and grabs the fabric and then releases as it comes up. This doesn't always like to stay on, and sometimes I found it was better just to remove this little stopper. It still has this little part right here, and it still grabs, it still works. So this is one of the little tips that I would suggest trying on your different fabrics, different speeds. Whenever you're working with knits, you really need to learn how fast your machine can handle the knit fabric. Sometimes you may have to go very slow, sometimes you can go a little faster. This foot does seem to help. It seems to keep it from puckering as well. I do like this foot. I don't like how this comes off sometimes or will get stuck, because what was happening is it would only go part of the way and it would get stuck. So it was actually hanging on the fabric as the fabric tried to pass under it. And that's what made me take it off. And I found that it still worked even without this. This is what it looks like with the rubber foot removed. It's very flat. And I used the stretch stitch, so it has a lot of stretch in it. So I hope this demonstration helps and gives you a little bit of insight on what this particular foot is for.
Life is hectic, so I don't upload on a regular basis, so please hit the bell to be notified when I do.